Hello and welcome everyone to the Gold and Silver Club end of week commodities review for the 12th of December 2014, presented by myself, Phil and Nik at the Gold and Silver Club. Today, of course, we'll be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodities markets. We'll be looking at the top trades of the week, covering live commentary and technical analysis. And of course, we'll be answering any questions you may have too. So before we get started, I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, the agricultural commodities. I've trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. Also responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders, and a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, speak at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nik, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nik began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. Prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, spent several years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top tier hedge funds and investment banks. And through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, mindset and tools that can give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications, and we have appeared frequently on financial television. Okay, so before we get started, we should take a look at the gold price right now. We're currently trading at $1,224 per ounce. So we'll take a look at the technicals very shortly. Just before doing so, we'll review some of the top trades that we've had this week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So first of all, we've had another fantastic opportunity this week to sell short both WTI and Brent crude oil. We broke through another major support zone this week. A beautiful sell short that we've had just in the matter of 3 days. We've broken down over 450 points. We've banked on this trade. The risk was 150 points, so $1,500 risk for 450 points profit, $4,500 profit on that trade for a 3-to-1. And we've also had a lovely sell short opportunity too on Brent crude oil, which was a risk of 130 points and a reward of 410 points. So $4,100 profit on the trade for a 3-to-1 as we continue to break down on both WTI and Brent crude oil this week. And we've also had a lovely breakout on the gold market. So we had a buy here for a profit of 280 points, a $2,800 profit for a risk of 140 points, so $1,400 risk for a 2-to-1 here for 2,800, and a lovely breakout that we had earlier on this week. Now we do have the FOMC announcement coming up next Wednesday, and we'll take a look at gold first actually as we move over to the metals, and we'll see what really we can expect in the week ahead for the commodities. So we'll move over to the charts. We'll have a look at some live technical analysis now. So first of all, we need to just have a look at the US dollar index and where that is sitting in relation to the precious metals currently. So we can see currently the US dollar index, we did get a bit of a pullback over the last 2 or 3 days. We've very quickly retraced from that pullback. You can see overall, we have a very strong upward trending channel here on the US dollar, which has been maintained going all the way back to July now. And this upward trending channel does put a lot of pressure on the metals, and we can see that has been maintained, and we're currently finding support just at the lower end of the trend channel. So if we were to see more upside next week in the US dollar, this would put more downside, especially on gold and silver. And if we were to see the US dollar break down here, coming down to key levels below, that we'd then see support for the metals and potentially a breakout. Okay, so we'll move over and we'll have a look. First of all, we'll actually have a look at the palladium market, which has broken out really nicely this week. We've cleared above some resistance, above $815 an ounce. We've had a nice breakout to the upside. We've actually closed above that at the moment. We've been looking at this breakout zone for quite some time on palladium. If we move over and have a look at this zone just on the daily, you can see very clearly here, nice upward trending channel. We've been forming a consolidation and building a base here on palladium going back to mid-November. So we finally had a nice breakout to the upside here. We do have one more swing high just to get above. If we can get a break above that level, that's going to be the neckline broken, and we're likely to get some really good upside here with palladium. So palladium is definitely a market you want to be keeping an eye on over December. If we look at the gold market currently, so we do have the FOMC announcement next Wednesday, which typically can put some pressure on gold just beforehand, as you see traders exiting the market, just anticipation for some very large moves on the FOMC. If you go back to last month's FOMC statement, we actually had a 600-point move over a 48-hour period to the downside, so you can see why traders do get a little bit nervous prior to these announcements. We've got at the moment a very clear trend channel here just on the daily going back to the beginning of November. And we've come up and retested the upper end of that channel earlier on this week. On Monday, we had a nice breakout to the upside, which we caught from a previous pennant actually formation, which broke out to the upside. You can see that we had a nice breakout. That was a lovely breakout trade. We've just settled right at this resistance. We can see we're continuing to consolidate here. We've seen quite a lot of choppy price action over the last couple of days here, as we've seen gold come down and then retrace. And we can see here we formed a hammer yesterday, and we've got the same today. So we are getting quite a lot of support on gold at the moment around the 12.15 zone. So today is going to be very important for gold to see how it closes. Now, if we do get a close and below 12.15 and we take out that low from yesterday, we could be into some further downside here as we open for Monday and we go into Tuesday, the day before FOMC. We could see some pressure to the downside. However, if this level does hold today and we don't see a 12.15 breach, and in fact we get a break above the highs here, which we can do prior to on the Fridays, prior to FOMC, we may get a nice breakout back up to the upper end of this resistance channel, which would take us up to around the 12.43 level. So two different types of price structure we see happening here, either a move down to the lower end of the trend channel, or we'll get a breakout and we'll come up to the upper end of this channel. So that's what we're looking at the moment for gold. And gold definitely will be very active as we go into next week on Wednesday for the FOMC. Looking at silver just consolidating at the moment. Silver did get a nice breakout from its downward trending channel. We can see here very clearly we've been in a downward trending channel on silver since July, bottomed out right in the 1st of December when we had a capitulation, and we've had a consolidation, another breakout. This could be a consolidation or another breakout, but really, again, the FOMC is going to decide that, whether we get a breakout to the downside or whether we get a breakout to the upside. What is good about these sort of setups is that you do have a really good reward on them. So if you do see a consolidation like this, risk to reward, it's very easy for you to get a good profit target out of those. So 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and so forth. It's quite tight in terms of its risk. So these can be really nice breakout trades. So I would keep an eye on silver for a potential breakout here. The longer we consolidate, the more likely we're going to get a decent breakout. If we move over and have a look at the other metals at the moment, so we'll just move over to the platinum market. Platinum still building a base here, a little bit similar to palladium. We've got a neckline here to break above. We can see we're getting these higher lows and higher highs as we continue to consolidate and form a base here. Just going out to the higher time frames, we did breach the last 4 weeks worth of highs here, so we did get a nice breakout this week, and we're looking again in the short term for more upside here. A little bit more work to do on platinum just to get above the 12.55, but we've got some nice trades here, which you can see we've got a nice trend channel which has been in place really going back to 21st of December here, as we continue just to build a base here on platinum. So platinum is looking good at the moment as we go into next week. Moving over to the copper market, copper again capitulated on the 1st of December. Since that capitulation, we have had an upward trending channel starting to develop here. What I would look for here now is a retest of the resistance channel, and a retest of that level, possibly higher than that. We'll look for more selling into the overall trend, which is definitely in a downward trend at the moment. So around this zone is where we can look for sell opportunities, the price to come up, spike up to that level, and then just sell off again in line with the overall downward trend, which we've been in over the last 4 years for copper here. And you can see copper just building a little bit of a slight base here. So I do see a move just up to that level and then a sell-off. If we move over and have a look also let's have a look. We've got energies, which we'll move over to next. In fact, we'll have a look first of all at Brent crude oil, then we'll go over to light sweet crude oil. So Brent crude oil, you can see here very clearly, we broke through again the lows from last week here. 67.51 has just led to another really nice sell-off opportunity. You can see here a lot of damage being done to oil at the moment as it just continues to sell off week on week. We're seeing lower lows and lower highs here. We've had a tremendous sell-off if you just go back in such a short period of time as well. If you just have a look on the chart and you go back to June here, where we were trading at $115 per barrel on Brent, we're now all the way down at $63, almost a 50% move in such a short period of time. So we've had a tremendous sell-off here, and we're seeing just a lot of stop losses get flushed out as well, as traders are unable to stay into any longs that they've had previously. This is causing margin calls and stops to be triggered, and we're just seeing continuation of the overall downward trend. You can see here we've actually had consecutively, we've now on the 9th day of lower lows and also lower highs. You can see it's such a strong downward trend, just continuous. These levels were just continuing to sell off, so very clear downward trending channel here on Brent. Now I certainly wouldn't be trying to pick a bottom here of the market. Technically we could still break down quite a lot further for both Brent and WTI. They've broken through some major support levels at the moment, so I wouldn't be trying to pick a bottom and trying to buy into this market. We're definitely looking to stay within the overall trend. Okay, so we'll just move over now to look at light sweet crude oil. Very similar situation on light sweet crude oil here as well. If we just go back to June here earlier on this year, where we were trading around 107 US dollars per barrel, we're now all the way, we've now broken the key level of 60 per barrel, and we're currently trading at $59 per barrel. So another huge move down this week, breaking through last week's lows here. You see indecision candle, which we've just broken below, and this is given rise to about 500 points sell-off, which we've caught the majority of that so far to the downside. And you can see really we're just continuing within this overall downward trend, again consecutive daily lower lows and lower highs here, and really we could continue to break down much further here as well for oil in the short term. But really as we go into next week, we could get more downside here again. I wouldn't be looking to buy at these levels. We're continuing to sell off, and you can see very clearly any retracements back up to the upper end of this trend channel, and they offer new opportunities just to get in for an additional sell here. So oil is just great for a sell at the moment. Just in terms of the technicals here, it's looking good right now. If we move over also and have a look at other energies, natural gas also getting quite a lot of pressure at the moment due to warm weather, warmer than expected weather, which has caused less demand for natural gas. We are sitting right at a key level of support at the moment, which we're just consolidating on currently. We can see here we're just sitting around this key level here, 3.598 or 3.600, quite a nice round psychological number as well. If that does break, we do expect further downside. Next key level support 3.419, but that's what we'll be looking at. We're just consolidating at the moment. We could still get a breakout to the upside. This is the level where previous longs, if you had been long, for example, from the 24th of October and you stayed in that position throughout this whole rally, only to see your trade come all the way back to break even, you can see this is an area where traders would have been getting in. If they've missed that whole move, this is another level where traders will have looked to get back into this position. So there will be a battle here between the bulls and the bears at this 3.600 level, but I think if we do run stops here and we get a breakdown lower, huge V-shaped reversal pattern as well, I think if we do break the neckline here, we're likely to get quite a lot more downside on natural gas, and we'll be looking to take that for a short. If you get a breakout to the upside, it will be counter trend, and what you may see is just a move back up to this previous support term resistance level. So that's a level which I would look at for potential for a breakout to the upside, and then essentially looking to sell again into that to the downside. So that's what we'll be looking at on natural gas in the short term. So that's it for the metals, for the energies. We'll just have a quick look over at the grains as well. We can see here that for corn, staying within this upward trending channel, very clear actually the trend channel that we've got on corn at the moment. We're just continuing to rally. This is a seasonal time of year where we do tend to see more of a bullish sentiment on the grains here, and we've seen that follow through with corn at the moment. We've got a key level of resistance just above actually, which is at 4.14, which was a previous major swing low going back to July here. So looks like we're targeting that key level at the moment. So corn looking good for more upside currently. So we will continue to stay long on corn. If we move over to the wheat market, wheat, very similar situation, nice upward trending channel, getting just a bit of a breakout today as well. We continue to watch that. Just switch contracts actually on wheat as well, so it's slight change in the price structure here, but you can see here very clearly previous support previous resistance has now become support at 572. We've broken above that level, we've come down and retested, which is very common actually for the financial markets. When you see a previous major level of support become resistance, then it becomes support again, which we can see here. That was a clear neckline at 572 to break above, and we're now finding support. So more upside we see for both corn and wheat at the moment. Okay, so that's what we're seeing on the grains. So just in summary here, really what you want to be watching, I'd say the major plays as we go into next week, we just continue our sell shorts on the oil markets. No real reason to close out at the moment. We just continue to sell short, particularly whilst we get lower we're getting lower lows and lower highs, and also gold is definitely going to be one to watch as we go into next week as well, with the FOMC statement on Wednesday. So do keep an eye on gold price structure as we go into that event. You can find out more actually how to trade the FOMC statement with the Gold and Silver Club live. Let me just talk you through that. How you can find out more details. So essentially, we will be doing a live trading session next week on Wednesday with all of our traders at the Gold and Silver Club, where we'll be talking everybody through step by step how to trade that announcement. We made over 600 points on the last announcement, which you can see actually on our YouTube channel, the video of how we did that very clearly. You can also make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. There's further details on that too. And if you'd like to find out more about our upcoming courses at the Gold and Silver Club, our daily trade calls, our commodity courses, or how to get access to our live trading room, very simply go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, and of course make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. If you go on our website, just www.thegoldandsilverclub.com, you'll receive a free weekly report on the precious metals, the energies, agriculture, as well as live market analysis and prices. And you can also find out more about our upcoming courses in 2015. Okay, and I think you'll agree that commodities are extremely lucrative markets to be trading at the moment. And if you'd like to find out more, do get in touch with us. I shall leave the details on the screen for you there. Okay, right, well, I wish you all a great weekend, everyone. Good trading, and we'll certainly see you all on the next one. If you do have any questions at all, do just jump on our website and send us an email or get in touch via the numbers on the screen, and we'll be happy to help. Okay, take care, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.